Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk Leeds with me, GWFM. Today I'm joined by my fellow Leeds fan guests in Mike and Matt. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
What's up?
How are we all feeling after recent results, basically?
Yeah, very, very, very happy. The Bielsa legend is turning things around.
2 games.
Yeah. We won the league.
We're going up as fucking champions. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening. Right, so first of all, I just want to say apologies for the length of time the last episode was. It was supposed to be like, half hour max, something like that. It ended up being over an hour. So we're going to try and do it a little bit different. Instead of going through every single player, we're going to try and simplify it a little bit. So hopefully you'll see what we've done, and hopefully it'll still be enjoyable as well, because it did go on a little bit, and it does make it a lot harder to edit and get it out on time as well. So anyway, we're going to start off with obviously the derby game that happened at the weekend, because obviously by now we've played Bolton in the cup as well. So first of all, what's your opinions on the game? We'll start with you, Matt, for a change.
Very good. Again, people thought, was the opening game a bit of a fluke? Did we catch Stoke on a bad day? But we harried them and hassled them. The only downside, I'd say, is just conceding, really. But other than that, we ran them all over the park. We had them beat every single time, first ball, second ball. And going forward again, just as lethal, if not more so. And what can you say, really? It's looking very good at the minute.
Yeah, it was a very good performance, I must admit. Mike, your opinions on it?
Yeah, just solid performance. Kind of echoing what Matt just said. A lot of people were kind of saying, great, we won the first game. It was a really pleasing performance, but were Stoke bad, and were Leeds as good just because Stoke were so poor, and could we do it again? Derby weren't overly impressive in their opening game. I think we both all alluded to the fact that Richard Keogh was kind of a target, and he had a terrible game once again. And
I believe the expression is he was sent to Tesco's.
Just strong performance again from everyone. As kind of again agreeing with what Matt said, the only real downside was the fact that we've now played 2 games. We haven't yet kept a clean sheet in the league. So so that's the only real concern you can take away from that. But I suppose at the end of the day, we are still playing a natural right back at centre back. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to allude to. Basically, that the defense isn't like a fully formed defense in of sorts. But to be fair to him, I don't think you could fault any of the defense for the goal. I think the only blame you could possibly point the finger at is BPF, Bailey Peacock Farrell. Had to do better for me for the goal. A lot of people are saying that because it was like a Ronaldo-esque like knuckleball shot or whatever it is, that it flew like ridiculously fast and that it just surprised him. I get that, fair enough, but come on, it's a goalkeeper. Would I drop him for it? Probably not. But he's learning, still young, so he's going to make mistakes. Hopefully, it's not like last season with Wiedveld and Lonergan making mistakes. It was costing us points. This obviously didn't, because we scored 4 goals, because we're shit top. So yeah, we're going up as fucking champions, boys. No, I'm not getting carried away. It is 2 games. It's 2 games against 2 of the title favourites. If you remember, at the first, one of the last couple of videos, I thought we'd do well to get 10 points out of the first, 5 games or 6 games, something like that. So my feelings now, I'm feeling obviously a lot more confident of reaching at least 12 points come the end of that little run before the international break. But moving on, not really from this subject, but who would you say your top 3 performers are? We'll start with you, Matt, please.
Kemar Roof, for one. Caused all sorts of problems for the Derby defence. Couldn't really handle him. They couldn't keep up with his pace. Very, very good header, and his second goal was absolutely brilliant. Just I don't think Richard Keogh knows where he is right now. That's how good it was, and the finish was brilliant. Secondly, Phillips again did what he had to do. Broke up play, was everywhere, as you like to say, like shit in the field.
I think I get it.
So he was again very, very good. Hopefully it continues, and hopefully he continues to improve and so on. And lastly, it's a tough one. It really is. We've not really had these situations where we've had to pick 3 players that are really good and struggle to find those 3. because everybody's been very, very good. But I'd give it probably to Click, the third one.
Yeah,
that would be my last
that
one.
very well. Mike, what about your three?
I'll probably go with Ruth as well. Obviously, he must be an avid listener of the show because I gave him a little bit of criticism in the first one against Stoke. He must have obviously took that on board.
Yeah,
so
you've got previous now, haven't you, with this team? So
yeah, I'm glad he's kind of listened and took my criticism on board and worked on his areas he needs to work on. As you said, great header for the goal against Keogh, and just ran about the whole game and did look more of a threat centrally as well. He still drifted out to the channels, but I did find him, he was definitely more in a central role. So I don't know if it's something that obviously the team had noted down as well. For me, then I'd probably say, again, as Matt said, it's tough because everyone, like pretty much everyone, performed really well again. I'd probably say Hernandez as my second choice, though. I think it's really close between him and Sammy at the moment for the kind of real flair players that make things happen. Both just want the ball constantly, which obviously is only good. They're pushing each other to bigger and higher levels. Obviously, he got two assists in the end of the day, so really good performance from him. And then I probably agree with Klitsch for the third one. Obviously, Sammy had a good game again, but Klitsch again got an assist and a goal himself. So, but yeah, hard to pick just three really.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I'm in total agreement. I think with Matt, those in that order as well, probably. Roof, for me, just looks, at this moment in time, he's more like a complete striker, where he's actually, he's winning headers, and he shows elements of strength, where we haven't really seen it before. He maybe looked a little bit lightweight, maybe went down a little bit easier a couple of times. Maybe not last season as much, but the season before. But from then to now, he just seems like a completely different player. So I'm really buzzing with him. And like you say, sending Keogh to Tesco's, that was an absolutely fantastic turn. A bit of control just beforehand as well. And then the finish, he's right-footed, don't forget. He smashed it into top left-hand corner. I was well impressed with that goal. I remember we had someone digging next door outside, and I was going, get in, and window were wide open. And I thought, I'm wondering what the hell's going on. But that goal in particular, that made me go get in the most because it gave me a little bit of a semi. But other than that, again, he's got that effect on me at the minute, or the team have. Basically, in second place, it was probably Phillips. He was just his break-up play and everything like that. I watched the press conference today, and saying he's pretty good defensively. And some people, especially last season, will be like, what the hell? Defensively, he's shocking or whatever. But if you do watch, he does get quite a lot of tackles. And even last season, he made a lot of tackles. I seem to remember, I think it was Alioski's goal against Nottingham Forest last season. He won a tackle high up the field. It broke to Alioski and he shot and he scored. And that was kind of the amount of side tackles that he gets stuck into. He's obviously seen that as Bielsa, and that's why he's got him in that role, in my opinion, because he can tackle, basically. That's the long and short of it. But yeah, his long range passing as well has been really good as well. It's surprising because I don't know if anyone else would have seen that. The only players I've ever seen trying the long balls and lose it is usually Liam Cooper. But Phillips has just been pinging it around, and I think someone quoted it's like having, what did they say this? It's like having Pirlo at the back. It's like having a pineapple-headed Pirlo, something like that. I think I heard. So, but he's really impressed me as well. And then Click, which I want to say, apparently it's not pronounced Click or Klitsch. Apparently it's Klee. It's like Klee, like Klee. Apparently someone actually asked him. No, I'm not saying it for that reason. Someone actually asked him on Twitter, and that's what the description he gave. It's like a silent H or something, or C. No, it's like a C. Sorry, like a H on the end, and that's how it's pronounced. So, God knows, because even Bielsa in the press conference called him Click or Klitsch or whatever it was. But anyway, great performance from him. Well taken goal, set us on his way. And he's really impressed it's coming into the team. So that's the order for me. What we'd normally do at this section now from this point on is say who would you drop, but obviously it's too late because we've done the Bolton game in between. But we'll come back to that point later on after going through the Bolton game, which we'll get into right now. Right, so moving on to the Bolton game in the EFL Cup. I believe it's still called the EFL Cup. What was your opinions on the 2-1 victory against Bolton? We'll start with you, Matt.
I'm sorry, I was
nice cough.
It was a bit Jekyll and Hyde. The performance. There was obviously quite a few changes. I think the only players that were retained from the previous game were Ailing, Saiz, and can't remember the last one. Phillips, that was the one. But first half we were very, very good. But the second half we started slowly. Bolton got a goal back, obviously, and it got a little bit ragged, a little bit stretched at times, and it's the first time this season we've seen Bielsa off his bucket and actually shouted at the players rather than let his 3 assistants do it. So he didn't seem particularly pleased with it, but we got the win. We got to see some players that we've been looking forward to seeing how they would get on the system. Harrison got a bit more of a chance. He came on against Stoke, but overall, like I said, a bit Jekyll and Hyde, but maybe one or two players have played their way into the thinking of the manager for the next game against Rotherham.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Mike, what about yourself?
Yeah, really nice to obviously see him name a changed squad. I was kind of dubious of what was going to happen in it. I didn't know. I know he kind of wants to win every single game, so I was kind of thinking, he's going to play exactly the same starting 11 again. Is that a little bit of risk as well? Obviously, having your players that you want to be playing in the league game. So it's quite pleased to when you name the squad. Obviously, we've seen a lot of players we haven't seen so far. Give it a chance. And to be fair, I kind of was really surprised when you looked at that starting 11 and then including the bench, when it's pretty much a rotated squad, of how strong it still was. I think that's a really pleasing aspect, because seasons gone by, we would have rotated 9 players out of our squad. You'd be looking in the team sheet and you'd be like, you wouldn't know some of the players. Well, you wouldn't know a lot of some of the players, and possibly could have been quite worried. But for the game itself, kind of agree with what Matt said. It's obviously a little bit messier than the previous 2 games. Obviously this team hasn't probably played together as a full unit much, but obviously we've got the job done, which is the pleasing thing. Got the victory. Bolton did look to press us quite a bit. I still think we did a good job of trying to keep them out wide as much as we could do. I think that's kind of from what I've noted down in every single game so far. We don't seem to allow teams to play through the middle very much. We do seem to kind of like to try and push them out wide, and both our wing backs in this game and in the last games are really good at closing down. So to stop it, any crosses from coming in. But good performance, and obviously great to see some people getting their debuts and start in the starting 11.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with both of you. To be fair, I think it was good to see, or finally see, should I say, some of the players start that we've obviously been expected to maybe start earlier, maybe in the shape of like Bamford, and maybe you could argue Janssen. But it's like I say, it was an indifferent performance. First half, much the same, despite all the changes. In particular, Shackleton really impressed me in that first half. In fact, all the game, to be fair, but he was in the thick of most things that was happening that was decent. And then, the second half happened, and like I said, we just started slowly, and eventually, they scored the goal. It was a well taken goal, to be fair. It was a bit shoddy defending where he seemed to overrun it. Did the winger for them? I can't remember who it was that was running with it. He lost control of it, and it came off. I think it was Alien. It came off, and it just fell nicely for the guy that sounded like Satsuma, who was I don't know if you heard. He apparently was 5'3". They must have mentioned it at 6 times on the commentary. It was a bit nervy after that. I felt for a good 10 minutes, and then we got back into the game a bit, and then again they seemed to be pressing towards the last 5 minutes. But in that period in between, we always looked comfortable, we saw it out basically. And overall, I don't think you can really complain. We've got the win. We're through. We've got Preston next, so I'm still happy. Like you say, Bielsa maybe less so because he was shouting abuse and stuff from the sideline. But but otherwise, who were your top 3 performers? We'll go for you, Matt.
First one, I'd say Saiz.
Yeah.
Doing what he does best, really, creating chances, making things happen. Next one, I'd have to go with Phillips again because he's been a blistering start to the season. He's thriving under Bielsa so far. Seems to be enjoying the role, and he's getting getting plenty of game time, so he's obviously going to get better. And then the last one, again, it's a bit of a tough one, but I'd probably give it to Bamford. He didn't look like he was fully up to speed, but he's getting there. He got on the score sheet, and that'll help his confidence. And he looks like he could be, at the very least at the moment, a good option off the bench and to get us out of a tight spot if we ever find ourselves in one.
Yeah, I'd agree. It was a well taken goal, to be fair. Meg's the defender. Bit lucky that it brought to him, but yeah, it was still good, a really good finish. Mike?
Yeah, I've got to go for Sammy Says as my first choice. I think he just did exactly what he's done in every other game. He kind of no difference. Well, with what players he's got around him, he'll just play his game and still linked up really well with players. Even though it's not the kind of exactly the same team around him. Everyone seemed to slot into their position nicely, which I thought was, as a whole team, was really pleasing. But yeah, exactly the same Sammy Says we've seen in the last games, as influential as always, constantly shouting for the ball, and just a threat all game. Second up, again, it's quite a tough one. I'd probably go for. I think I was very impressed with Shackleton. To be fair,
yeah,
I think he played really well. He didn't look too phased at all. He got forward a lot. He obviously defended really well, pushed players out wide, got blocked in. The only thing I would say is that he looked a little bit too eager sometimes to get forward and join in, which could cause us some problems against maybe teams who are, not anything against Bolton here, but got a little bit more about them and a few more talented players in their squad. Maybe it could hurt us, but other than that, I think it's really good that his performance has gone down really well. To the fact that if Ayling does have to again for whatever reason maybe switch into centre back or gets an injury, that we've got a good quality player who can play in that position, and would have no qualms about sticking him in the first 11. Third player, I don't know, there's a lot of players. I'd probably say
a lot of players.
Yeah, there's at least over 11 players.
It's another 9 to choose from, plus maybe one of the subs.
Just, I'd probably say Harrison for me looked really, really good. I would say that he lacked a little bit of confidence maybe because he got himself in really good positions. He probably should have scored twice. I know there's a ball through from like a chipped pass from Says at one point, and he was through.
He did 3 of them.
Could have hit that one. Yeah, there's another one where he was quite late on in the game. He was in the box and he kind of sort onto his left foot. He was going for it all day though. To be fair to him, he was taking chances whenever he kind of maybe he had that shoot on sight mentality of Football Manager that maybe needed to be turned off at some point throughout the game. He was just shooting every time I think he's seen the goal. But it was really pleasing performance. I think he got the ball. He was very confident every time he got the ball. He looked like he was obviously out there to impress, and I think he played really well.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. To some degree, I got exactly the same players as either of you. I don't think. Not necessarily, rather in that order. Bear in mind, I mean, Bolton have had a good start to the season. I think they beat West Brom first game, was it? I think it was 2-1, and then they drew, I think, the last time out. I can't remember who it was against, but against someone who was half decent, if I remember rightly. But my man of the match was Phillips. I just thought he won the show, basically, especially first half. Everything good were coming through him. The long passes. I think he must have done at least 5 or 6 of these long, kind of like diagonal balls. And he found his target, I think, every single time, apart from once. I should say make a note of. But just getting the ball, just getting stuck in. I mean, they're a physical side. You need physical players. He stood to the task very, very well. So I was very impressed with him. Second was Shackleton, just purely for the fact it was his home debut. He played really, really well. I agree with what you're saying, Mike, about him getting a bit too eager, but I think that's kind of the Bielsa way. He wants really offensive fullbacks. And to be honest with you, I wasn't sure where he was going to play when I saw the lineup. I saw the lineup. I thought there's only 3 defenders there, but because when he came on against Derby, he played at middle of the park, so I was a bit bewildered, and then all of a sudden, I think it might have taken me about 35 minutes to figure out that he played at right back because he was coming in field quite a lot. But yeah, very, very solid. Won quite a lot of tackles. He's not only a little lad, but he was getting stuck in. He wasn't afraid when he got on the ball to have a look and obviously found one of his teammates, which is obviously the aim of the game. But like, just seemed to slot in like he'd been there like at least a season. Like it just unflappable. Really, I couldn't praise him enough. Really. And then third, it was Saiz. And one of the best things about I found about Saiz this season, and it's not so much the creativity, that all that is great, and the fact he scored his goal, is he's still getting his kicks, and he's not reacting like he did last season. He's not flapping his hand around for an imaginary card. He's not starting on the players that are tackling him. He's just like getting up and laughing. He's got a smile on his face, and long may it continue. That's for me been the most important thing of his game this season, because we know he's got the creativity. We saw it. There I am with Sean Connery again. And we saw it last season that he has got he was probably our most creative player last season. Hernandez obviously is up there as well. But yeah, it's good to see him actually getting back to the size of early last season. But yeah, moving on to potential changes for the next game.
In terms of changes, I don't think he'll make any. I think he made his changes against Bolton, possibly to give a few of the players a little bit of a rest, because obviously the tempo and the style of play is obviously so there's a lot of intensity in there. It requires a lot of fitness. So I don't think he'll make any changes. Bamford did okay, but would you really bet against Kemar Roof at the minute? He played very well against Stirk and was brilliant against Derby. Janssen maybe still half a yard off where he needs to be in terms of, not necessarily fitness, but maybe just the pace of the game and how they want to play it. So I could see Berardi possibly coming back in to partner Cooper. And yeah, I can't really see Harrison or Shackleton displacing Ayling or Alioski. Although if there is going to be a change, though doubtful I think it is, I think it will be Harrison for Alioski, because when he came on against Bolton, he wasn't very good at all. So that's the only potential change. But honestly, I think we'll see the same starting 11 as we saw against Derby.
Yeah, very good. Mike?
Yeah, kind of echoing what Matt said, really. Wasn't really... there's some good performances there, but did any of the players do anything good enough to kind of, dislodge the great performance we were putting on? Janssen played okay. He looked really shaky at the start, but, as he grew into the game and put in a decent performance. Obviously, it was great to see him back in a Leeds shirt, but there was a lot of positives obviously in the game. It was great to see some of the players, but for me, I think at the moment we're winning. We're winning quite comfortably, some might say. The team seems to be gelling really well, and just to kind of dislodge that would be a bit silly at the moment. Bamford played really well, but to take your top goal scorer out of the team at the moment and he's on form, I just think that's a silly move to make.
Yeah, he's got 2 man of the matches, hasn't he? So you can't.
Yeah, 2 man of the matches. Top goal scorer. He's. Baker played really well as well in the middle of the park, but you don't. Who are you going to take out? You're not going to take out Klitschko or Sami Zays. It's they're both on fire at the moment. Alioski played. He's played okay in the first 2 games, but again, he was the player I kind of thought would have possibly struggled and may have. I think I mentioned it in the last episode when I said everything was going to change. It'd be him, but he put in a really good shift against Derby. So again, if it is going to be anything, I think he'd be the player to be dropped. I don't think Bradi's in any hot water at the moment. I think it's his to lose at the moment. Really, yeah. Blackman did okay in goal as well. I think he was quite a good presence. He's huge as well, massive.
Yeah, it's nearly as big as me. We'll get that one day.
All 5'4" of you.
6.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, the whole team. It's going to be hard for any of these players to get into the squad at the moment. The way we're playing, but it was some really good performances, and it possibly could have given the manager a headache. But I do think it's going to be the same starting 11 again, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's probably most certainly going to be the same 11. I think actually at this point it's been confirmed in the press conference. But yeah, I was looking at Janssen because obviously everyone was looking forward to seeing him back in the Leeds shirt. Obviously being away on international duty and having that vacation when he came back. And yeah, I don't think he's ready yet in terms of how we're playing and what have you. He just like you say, looks a little bit like tired, not really up to speed, So, but he'll be in the side soon, I reckon. I don't think it'll be long. But in terms of like anyone, it's more a case of it's not so much potential changes from like the Bolton game. It's obviously to do with the from the Derby game, and it's whether these players that played on Tuesday, as you've already touched on, basically, if they can break into this side. And to be honest with you, I don't think any of them could. The only thing I would say is about Harrison, because he's probably the most likely, like you said, but Alioski's probably the most likely because of, I mean, it was shocking when he came on. But he played like central attacking mid, did the Saiz role, didn't he? But he wasn't very good there. But I don't think he will be dropped. But if Harrison was to come in, I think, I don't know, it was good. It was frustrating to me because he tried and take people on quite a few times and he'd lose it. And it put us in a little bit of danger a couple of times. But like I say, it might be just like you said before, confidence issue to start off with. As he grew into the game, he got more confident. So maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but yeah, I think he's probably the most likely to come in. But as I've just said, I think it's been mentioned in press conference that he's keeping the same 11. Besides the things, unless any injuries occur. Bamford obviously did very, very well. Seemed to go out of the game towards the end. So, like you say, you can't take off Roof, can you? You can't take him out at the minute on 2 man of the match performances. So, and he even looked lively when he came on as well. So, very pleased with the performance overall. And, on the whole scheme of things, just a little bit turned in the second half at times. Right, so we're going to move on to the next section, which is there any other news? Michael, take it away.
Yeah, so obviously the transfer window is still open for loans and obviously free transfers to come in. Leeds have obviously, it's not a secret that we're but still looking for a centre back, at least one really. We've been. I'm going to give this a try here. We've been linked with an Iranian player, Mortiza Pour Ali Ganji. I think is how it's pronounced.
That's as good as I think you're going to get. I think.
There we go.
Malteser.
He obviously played. Yeah, he played in the World Cup for every game for Iran. He's a centre back, obviously by trade. He had a decent career. He's not been playing at like the highest level, but he's played European football. Although all it would be for maybe some people might say lesser teams, but he's good enough to get into the. I mean, some might say how hard could it be to get into the Iranian squad? And but I think they gave a good account of themselves at the World Cup, considering they played against Spain and Portugal in that group. So
they only conceded one goal in each game, didn't they? As well, I think. So
yeah,
I'll give him a little bit of credit.
26 years of age as well. He's 6'2", which is obviously pretty huge considering we've
compared to me, it's huge.
Well, yeah,
maybe not to Matt.
But so that's what we've kind of been. And actually, obviously, there's been a lot of kind of circulation on social media in the last kind of few hours of Robert Huth in Leeds. I'm kind of just hoping he's just in Leeds for a day out. Really, I don't want to see him in a Leeds shirt, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I mean, he is just a poor man's Harry Maguire. No one wants to see that chin in a shirt.
The only similarity you can cast there is the massive chin or massive head. Yeah. That's about it, really.
One bit of news that obviously I wasn't aware of until, thank you, G, for notifying me of this, but the game against Bolton was actually a children's tickets were only £1, and which might not sound like huge news to Leeds fans, but it's quite good to see that we've times before we kind of record that the Leeds fan base is quite an aging one. It's quite hard for us to attract new young fans in because we're not a team that's spending £40 million on one reserve player, let alone £90 million on a world class player.
Premier League teams.
Yeah, we're in the Championship. We've been here for quite a while. Obviously, we flirted a little bit with League One, but obviously, luckily we got kind of out of that fairly quickly. Not quick enough, and a lot of Leeds fans would have liked. But we're back to kind of. I think where the team is capable of for the last few seasons. I think we've never really had a squad good enough to kind of get promoted. Really, I think we've always had quite a decent 11 as such, but never a good enough squad to actually push us to that. We've got a lot of games to play, especially if you kind of have a decent cup run. So the fact that obviously we've kind of had this pound for the children things in means that a lot of kids might come to the match just purely because it's only £1, and they might just come with a group of mates, and we put on a good performance as well. I think we've got a lot of good flair players. I think the fact that Sammy Sai started would have been good. Seen a lot of good play from him. As much as Harrison did lose the ball, he was still trying different things.
Oh,
and I think he was.
I wouldn't dispute that it was shocking or anything like that. I just thought that early on he would just seem to lose it quite a lot. So.
But yeah, it was. So I think hopefully we might have won a few people over, and they might want to start coming to a few more Leeds games, and especially if they start looking at how we've performed so far, they might have a bit of an interest now on what's been happening there, and they might come back and want to see Bielsa's bucket once more.
Anything to add on that, Matt?
Well, I've kind of been bullied into this one, but just before we started recording, I found that who's like 100 miles away. Yeah. But I found this on Facebook, and it's basically a little like a terrace chant, a new one. So it basically, here it goes. I don't know if you want to sing along at home, feel free. I'll make sure G puts it on the video. But Marcelo has a bucket. It's painted blue, not red. And when he has his team talk, he puts it on his head. It's full of magic powers. It tells him who to play. Marcelo's magic bucket. We hope it's here to stay.
Hey, well done, Matt. Round of applause for Matt. Actually doing it.
He puts it on his head. Oh, God.
It's not to do with Bielsa. It's all the chuffing bucket in it, Never mind. We paid 68 grand a week for Bielsa. No, we should have just paid 68p for a bucket. I'd have sorted it. But anyway,
it's the bucket. It's like when Dennis Wise and Gus Poyet were managing, and we said Gus was the brains behind the operation.
Yeah,
that's the bucket. Is the bucket the brains behind the operation? Right. Bielsa goes, the bucket going to be there and just calling things out.
Right, so that brings us on to the last part, which it's the predictions section. So last time out against Derby, I predicted a 2-1 win for us. Mike predicted a 2-0 win. And Matt, I believe, was closest. Well, I'm calling it closest. He said 3-0. Because it's a 3-goal deficit in terms of we won 4-1, I'm going to say that the points should go to Mattinho. I think everyone hopefully will agree. Some people might say that the 2-1 might be closer because they've got Derby scored, i.e. my score. But I'm just a gent and I'm going to let him win. So, but basically, you should see now. The scores you can see now. What are the scores? George Dawes. We've got 2-0, basically in favour of Mattinho. So no correct score yet. Remember, it's 1 point for the closest. But if you get 2 points, sorry, if you get the exact score correct. And so far, no one has done that. So me and Mike need to up our game. But moving on to the Rotherham game, what is your score prediction, Matt? We'll go you first.
I'm still toying at the minute. I don't know what to. I think I'm going to go with 4-0.
4-0. The other score's getting bigger. Yeah. 2-0 then 3-0. That's 4-0. Yeah, it'll be 10-0 in a couple of weeks. Mike.
I'm going to go really big as well. I'm going to say 5-1.
5-1. Very optimistic. You don't think like me that they're going to be playing like 10 at the back and 1 up front?
Who leads? No.
No, bad.
Bucket at the back.
No, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight. Don't forget, it's a Yorkshire derby. I know it's a new manager, a new revolution, if you like. But we've got history of being shite in Yorkshire derbies. So I'm going to say that this is going to be 2-0 to us. So obviously to us, I'm not going to say to Rotherham, am I? So yeah, that's my score prediction. It'd be nice to see your score predictions below as well in the comments. And also, one last question I'm going to ask for everyone. I want you to let us know what you think about the new away kit. Let us know in the comments below. I know we've got some views on it, mine in particular, and I think Matt, I think it was that said it. bus seats, basically.
Oh, no,
that's what I
didn't say
see.
bus seat, but yeah.
Yeah, it does look a bit like a bus seat.
I
like it though.
Yeah,
I do like it.
I do. Yeah, I think I was a bit unsure, but when I saw the players in it, I thought,
Yeah,
it looks nice. It looks nice, and
Something different.
it's definitely on my wish list for birthday/Christmas. So yeah, watch this space for me. But it's, I suppose it's now time to let the guys pimp their channels. So Mattinho, if you'd like to start with your pimpage.
Yeah, I do racing content. Planning to do Football Manager again, like in the next couple of weeks. I've said this numerous times, but I just haven't had a chance
I might
to
as well
get
just
round to it.
I might as well just cut out the last one, I know, really, and just put that in.
just say FM 20 maybe. I'll get round to doing it. But yeah, I do racing content. However, so if you wanna come and watch that me racing, that's fine. But apparently at the moment, don't upload videos, gain subscribers. Upload videos, lose subscribers.
Yeah,
so
I saw that. Yeah.
So if you want to come to a channel where I'm not going to upload videos and just get 1 million subscribers, then I'm the one for you potentially.
Right, go ahead, Mike. How about your channel, if you can call it that?
Is it a channel?
Shots fired.
Yeah. Is it a channel? No, I've been uploading. I've uploaded a few videos. I had
in the last year.
Two videos. No, two videos this week. Two videos this week. That's pretty good for me. It is one of them is my New England Revolution podcast though, so it's not really a video, I suppose. It's more just me talking.
Podcast, yeah.
Yeah. And the other one was my interactive safe. But yeah, there's I'm kind of managing 2 videos a week at the moment. So as long as I can keep on that trend, we should be going well. I have got a new series starting as soon as I can actually get around to finishing the first video. I've been editing it for 2 weeks, so hopefully it should be decent. But then after that, I'll probably upload that one episode and then I'll probably quit it. So probably don't get too excited, to be fair. But it's a channel. It's on YouTube, and that's all I'll say on that one.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments below on the subjects we mentioned earlier, and let us know how you thought we played in the 2 games as well. And hopefully, here's to some more victories going forward. Let's get to the international break with a 100% record. Come on, lads. But until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.